Good day, good day, good people, good day. I am SherVonne Grose, marriage and family therapist, and I am the host of Wow, Wish Only Well Television. Welcome to Wow, Wish Only Well Television. I am a marriage and family therapist, and I am also the owner and CEO of SherVonne Grose MFT LLC, where we pride ourselves on helping individuals and families achieve greater. And by greater, I mean goals, results, empowerment, aspirations, transformation, elevation, and rejuvenation. We want to help you get on your road to greater today. We provide individual therapy, we provide couples therapy, we provide family therapy, we provide a number of assessments and evaluations. We also provide workshops that's tailored uniquely to your group's needs. Or your organization needs. So, we want to help you get on your road to greater today. Listen, today is Wednesday. It is a wonderful Wednesday indeed. It is a great day to wow somebody. And by wow, I mean to wish only well. I mean to wish only well. So I come to you on Wednesdays to wish only well. I come to you to encourage you, to inspire you, and to motivate you, to help you get on your road to greater. And this new year of 2022, and Happy New Year, by the way, Happy New Year. In this new year of 2022, I not only want to help you get on your road to greater, but I want to help you stay on your road to greater. I am so excited about this opportunity to be able to bring WOW to a whole new level, a whole new platform. I am grateful to Elevation TV Network and Shani Godfrey for giving me this opportunity. It is an opportunity that I do not take lightly. I am so very excited about this. I can't even begin to put in words just how excited I am about the opportunity to be before you today, and to bring you some words that I hope will encourage you, words that I hope will inspire you. And just like I said, to help you get on your road to greater. Give me a few minutes. This is a new platform for me. So I am trying to get used to the way that it actually operates here. I'm just so excited because. Hey, Lady Washington, First Lady Washington, all the way from Dry Branch, Georgia, representing Stone Creek Baptist Church. She is my First Lady. Our pastor is none other than the Reverend Kelvin Washington. And I saw my sister, Angela Parker. Hello to you. Hello to everyone that's signing on. Again, welcome and Happy New Year. I am so excited about this opportunity, as I was saying, to be with you today, to bring you some encouragement, to inspire you, to motivate you, and to help you get on your road to greater. The opportunity presented itself for me to actually do WOW. WOW is something that I started, oh my God, a whole year ago in 2021. As a matter of fact, it was in January of 2021 when Stephanie Hughes, a licensed marriage and family therapist who also serves as my mentor, presented the idea about me going live. And the whole purpose behind me going live was so that I could get over myself, right? Get over my fear of speaking in public and seeing myself on camera. And so when she initially presented the idea to me, I was like, oh no, that's not for me. That's not a platform that I would be interested in. But lo and behold, it happened. And I'm so excited that it happened. It started out being that I would only do it for a week, and then it turned into a month. And here we are 1 year later, almost 1 year later, celebrating. It will be I started WOW Wednesday, the very first one. I believe it was the last January, the last Wednesday in January of 2021. And who knew that I would be here today on a whole different platform, being able to provide my messages now to a whole nother group of people, people outside of just the Facebook community. So it is indeed a blessing. And I am just so excited about the opportunity. I really cannot even put into words how I feel about this moment. Oh my God, it's just a phenomenal moment. And I'm just so thankful because I realize that it's not anything that I've done. It's not anything that I have that makes me so deserving. Well, I guess it is because I have the love of Christ. I have Jesus, who is my Lord and Savior, and I make no apologies for that. So I'm just excited about this opportunity and that I would be able to share a word, like I said, to just go into the homes of many people and hope to be able to to bring some joy. I know that this is a very difficult time. I posted on my Facebook page this morning. I was thinking about, I was having a conversation with someone, and they told me that I was very emotional. And I felt some type of way about being called very emotional because I know that that was a struggle with me. I used to always question, like, why am I so emotional, God? And not that it was I would just be sad or depressed, but every time something, it could be a joyful occasion, and the tears would just flow. And so I got a word from God, confirmation for him was that he made me an emotional person because of the gift that I have inside of me. I'm a compassionate person. And so that compassion sometimes just becomes so overwhelming on the inside of me. And the way that I express it sometimes is through tears of joy. So just because you see tears flowing from my face does not mean that I'm sad, but there are tears as a way of expressing. Right now, you may even see some tears before the end of this broadcast because I'm trying to contain myself, but I'm just overjoyed at the way that this actually happened for me. I'm not saying that this can't happen for you. I come before you to encourage you to be able to do some things. But I want you to know that the manifestation of this and how it actually came about is just so amazing. It lets me know that God is still on the throne and that he is still in control. And it was, you couldn't tell me, this is just how awesome it is. You couldn't tell me a month ago that I would be a host of a television show, a host of a radio show. That was not in my plan, right? I couldn't even fathom that. But I did know God had given me the vision for wanting to do something with WOW, to make WOW into its very own brand. And I didn't know exactly how that was going to happen. And then one day I happened to meet Shani Godfrey. And she has been a blessing to me. I thank God because she was obedient. She is a woman of Christ. She's a woman of God. She's a woman of faith. And she heard God as we were doing a podcast, as we were doing an interview together. She heard God and she was obedient to God. And she talked with me about the opportunity of bringing WOW onto Elevation Radio Network and Elevation. Her debut of what I hope to be many days of me coming before you to encourage you and inspire you. I also ask that you log in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the Elevation Radio Network. That can be also on iHeartRadio, I think on Apple, Google. Listen, just log on and listen as I tell my story, guys. I am just so incredibly excited. So let me tell you, I wanted to start off with sharing with you. I was in the midst of writing a not Facebook, an Instagram post. By the way, go right now to Instagram, find me, SherVonne Grose, MFT for Marriage and Family Therapist. Find me, right? And start following me because great things are happening. Guys, I can't even tell you what's my next gonna be. All I know is that I trust God. And I'm going to have to tell you about the word greater that he's given to me, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But believe me, it is so easy to do because I am so incredibly excited about this opportunity. Listen, guys, I keep touching the wrong side of my face, right? Because, with the camera, right? And I got hair on my face and I keep touching this side of the face, and my hair is actually on this side of the face. Anyway, so I'm just so excited. So listen, I wanted to read something to you that I was about to post on my Instagram this morning, right? And I started writing it or typing it, right? And then I realized, oh my goodness, it got longer and it got longer. And I thought, this is too much for an Instagram post. But I realized that it was profound and it set the tone for the very moment, for this very moment right here, right? in preparation. So I want to share this with you. And I hope that you listen carefully to the words that I'm going to say, because I may not actually remember to come back and address all of the things, because I'm trying to, manage my emotions right now, because I am so super excited about the things that God is doing, about the things that God is doing for me. He's showing himself strong on my behalf. We're just in the 5th day of January already. And God has just blown my mind about what has happened. This radio show, this television show and the radio show actually just came about, I'll tell you the exact date, December the 17th. That was my daughter's birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday. And I was farthest away from thinking about having this kind of opportunity. But I'm so grateful that I showed up. And I showed up for that interview. I was tired. I didn't even want to do it because I was so tired. But I realized that I had to go forth. And I said this before in one of my lives, when I, my Facebook Live, I've said that we sometimes, the blessing isn't showing up. So sometimes we just have to show up. And I am a witness to that I showed up. And as a result of me showing up, I was blessed. And so here I am, here before you today on this TV show. And some of you, it probably still looks like the Facebook Live, but I assure you that is not. It is much larger than that. And I think that I can't even explain that to you guys. All I know is that I have the opportunity to reach more people, like to have a greater audience of people, right? So I'm grateful for all of you who followed me on Facebook Live. Some of you are logging on here now. I am so grateful for my support system. You guys have been really awesome. I got words of encouragement this morning through text messages. You guys shared you shared the flyer on your social media sites. I just cannot express that enough, how grateful I am and how thankful I am to you guys for doing that, because you didn't have to, but you did. And I am forever grateful for that. So listen, I wanted to get to, and I wanted to share this with you. This is important. I wanted to read it to you because I think it sets the tone for this, right? So I'm going to read this. Dr. Catherine Meeks wrote a book entitled, "I Want Somebody to Know My Name." I still remember just how I felt reading the title of her book, and I was a young child at that time. It resonated deeply within me. Being a little country kid, I had no real concept of the true profound meaning of it all, but I knew it stirred something within me. My mind was just too small to even fathom God's plans for my life at that time. Now, fast forward to 2021. I was introduced to a new social media platform. All these new things are just happening, right? Taking me outside of my comfort zone. So sometimes, you know what, when the blessing comes, you're taken outside of your comfort zone. But bear with me, guys. So fast forward to 2021. I was introduced to a new social media platform. One evening, I entered a virtual room on Clubhouse where I was eventually invited on stage. I took the opportunity just to practice getting over my fear of hearing myself speak. I took the opportunity to get on stage just to practice getting over my fear of hearing myself speak, right? Little did I know what was in store for me. The room was a small room. And if you know anything about Clubhouse, it can be thousands of people in a room, right? And so this was not the case. This was a much smaller room, right? The room was a small room, but it was filled with powerful, phenomenal, godly women whom I have still yet to meet face to face. I knew not these women or their lot in life, but I learned about the pivot as I listened to them have discussion that evening. With a trembling voice, I spoke my truth, and suddenly the tears fell. Those powerful, phenomenal women, those godly women, they could hear my tears. Because if you know anything about Clubhouse, is not facial, it's all audio, right? So the person can't see you. But those godly women that night, they heard my tears. They could hear it in my voice. But they didn't dismiss me as emotional. They didn't label me as weak. They understood that I had a purpose. More importantly, they knew God had a plan for me. What they did next was something that I never ever expected. They spoke life. They gave me a prophetic word. They said my name would be great, and they backed it with biblical scripture. They encouraged me. They inspired me. They motivated me. They helped me to get on my road to greater. God's word says, greater is he who is in me than he that is in the world. Greater is the word God placed in my spirit in a moment of despair, in a moment of uncertainty, in a moment of helplessness, and perhaps even in a moment of hopelessness. Greater, God reaching every area of my life now, every area to expand my reach, my regions, my resources. This is why I am so emotional right now at this very moment, because that was 2018. My mind can even fathom me, like being here at this very moment, right? That is a part of the greater. God gave me that word when I was at my lowest moment in 2018, when I felt like I was going to lose my mind. I know that some of you have been there before, when you've been in depression, and or you've just had situation in life that's just going on, and you just feel like you don't know how you're going to make it. You're in the midst of the storm, you're in the midst of a battle, and you just don't know how to make it. But I come to tell you that God is true. If you would just stand on his word and stand on your promises, right? He said to me, greater. It dropped in my spirit, greater. And in 2018, this was in 2018, and in 2019, God blessed me with the opportunity to have my own agency, my own company, to be able to have a contract here with the Department of Human Services. And I know many of you have heard me say that, have heard me talk about that. And maybe you think it as a brag moment, but your thinking is all wrong. It's a wow moment. It's a wow moment for me, because again, it was God showing me, right? Showing up in my life, right? Allowing the manifestation of greater to come into my life, not because of who I was, but because of who I'm connected to, because I believed in his word and I never gave up. I knew that he was not going to leave me nor forsake me. I felt some type of way at times, but at the end of the day, God still revealed himself, and he showed himself to be strong on my behalf. And I'm forever grateful for that. So with this word greater, right? I took the word greater. And when I was given the opportunity to actually formally introduce SherVonne Grose MFT LLC, I took that word greater with me, right? And my slogan is helping individuals and families achieve greater. And I said at the beginning of the broadcast that greater means goals, right? We help people set goals where they can see results. And when you see results, you start to feel empowered. And when you feel empowered, like I do at this particular moment, you start to have aspirations. You start to have bigger dreams. And then you start to see the transformation that starts to take place, the elevation. And then you start to get rejuvenated about life, right? In general, about things that can happen, not because of who you are, not because of who I am, but because of the glory of God. Wow, I didn't want to get to the point where I become so emotional that the tears started flowing. But again, when I become full of passion, right? Because I'm such a compassionate person. When that passion starts to come, it overflows and the tears start to roll from my eyes. Some of you on here know my story. It hasn't been an easy journey. Conquista, you're here with me, and thank you. We've traveled many roads together, many roads. together, and we've had many conversations. And just to see where we've come from and where we are today is just truly a blessing from God. So when you hear me talk about greater, guys, that word just means so much to me because it's a promise, right, that God gave to me in a time where I just felt like I just wasn't going to make it. In 2018, no one could have told me that I would have had my own agency, that I would have had a company that I would have been able to have a contract, which had been a dream of mine for years, but I never pursued it. And so I would have never imagined that in 2019 that I would have been off to my own, on the start of having my own business. And I did. If I did it, you can do it too, right? And so we went on from 2019, and here we are. We rolled into 2020. And I had some things to happen in 2020, but that's all right. God was still with me in 2020, just like he was with me in 2018 and 2019, 2021, and here today with me in 2022. And so we went on to 2022, and I walked away from a job that I was working full time. And I was encouraged again by Stephanie Hughes to come out of the cave. I was reminded about how much that I have to offer, right? How much that I have to give to the world. And Ebony says, what seems impossible to us is always possible to God. And I see Angela says, but God, right? It's a but God thing for me. And so here we were in 2020, right? I was able to leave a job that I was no longer, to be honest about it, I was no longer really wanted at that particular job. Everything that could come against me was coming against me. But in my stubbornness, in my fear, right? Because even though I sit here and I profess to be a woman of faith, make no mistake about it, the flesh is real, right? And so I had fear. I didn't fully embrace what God had given to me. My mind still again was just like my mindset was when I was a little kid, and I saw that book that was written by Dr. Catherine Meeks, Make My Name Great, right? I want somebody to know my name. I'm sorry, it's the name of her book. And I was later able to actually meet Dr. Meeks. And she also, I met her she did a Black History program, and that I was able to attend actually at our church. And then she became a professor at the college where I attended, Wesleyan College here in Macon. And so it's just amazing to me to know that book, that title of that book resonated with me. And so here I am leaving in 2020 a job, right? And I got the push, right? And then 2021 is where WOW came. And when Stephanie talked to me about going to do a Facebook Live, and the reason why she wanted me to do a Facebook Live was, just to show up, right? So that people could see who I was, and so that people could know about what I had to offer. And so I did. I decided, it just came to me again, dropped in my spirit, that it would be called WOW. And WOW would be to wish only well, right? And so that's how this actually got started as a Facebook Live in January, that last Wednesday of January of 2021. And so it was something that I was only going to do for a week. And then I was like, I think it was Ebony who encouraged me to just keep going, right? And so I did. I said, I'll do it for a month. And then I talked to Stephanie after that month, and I said, okay, I did Facebook Live. I'm over this. I don't want to do it anymore, right? I've done this. I'm not comfortable being on screen, right? I sometimes trip over my word, right? I just sometimes feel like I just can't convey my thoughts. Like they don't flow how I want them to flow. And so Stephanie said to me, I don't think that your audience would appreciate you not doing your Facebook Live. And that was profound to me because I had not really even considered that. All I was thinking about at that time was me and how uncomfortable it was for me to push that live button as I sat in front of the camera and expose myself and talk to people, right? And encourage people, right? You could shut the camera off and I could talk all day about it, but it was something about seeing myself talk, right? That just kind of made me a little nervous and a little anxious, right? And so I decided that I owed it the people, even though I didn't have a huge following, I was still making an impact. And that's the thing. Sometimes we think that we got to have a certain number of we got to have a certain number of people, a certain number of likes, right? We need a certain quantity in order to feel like we're being effective. But that's not true, right? So I was making an impact to somebody. Somebody was looking forward for me to come on these lives and to share a word, to give them hope, to give them encouragement, to give them inspiration, to give them motivation. And so that is how WOW began. So after hearing that, I continued on. I continued on and I continued on. And here we are almost a year later. WOW is still in existence, and WOW has moved to the next level of greatness, not because of who I am, but definitely because of who I am connected to. So I wanted to share this with you because I also stated when I posted this morning on my Facebook Live about me being an emotional person and how I didn't like that part of me because I thought that it made me weak, even though I knew that my tears weren't always because I was sad or that I was unhappy, right? Or that I was depressed. I just cried a lot and I felt a lot, and it made me feel differently. And so when someone mentioned to me, and it was just recently that they told me that I was very emotional, it did something to me. But God confirmed that He made me and that He made me emotional for a reason. I'm emotional because of the compassion that I have, because of the size of my heart, right? And that I really mean well. I have a genuine desire to really help people, right? And so sometimes I get so overwhelmed, I get so with my feelings, right? And that I have to let the tears freely flow from my eyes, right? And I just thank God. Just like that day when I cried, like on Clubhouse, I wasn't crying because I was sad. I was crying because I was glad. I was crying because I had yet been introduced or given another opportunity by some women that I don't even know, right? But I knew from their spirit. God said, try the spirit by the spirit. So I knew those women from their spirit. I can just hear it in their voice and the way they connected with me, the way that they encouraged me, the way that they inspired me, the way that they motivated me. They made me believe that it was possible for my name to be great. And I knew that it could because they backed it with biblical scriptures. I had not talked to those ladies about my dream. I had not told those ladies anything. In fact, they confirmed to me what God plans were for my life. So I encourage you to not let the labels, because people will attempt to label you, honey. They will attempt to label you. But I come to encourage you and to let you know that although they may attempt to label you, they cannot limit you. What God has for you is for you, right? And it's for you only, right? So you don't have to even be jealous of what somebody else has or what somebody else may be doing. You don't have to badmouth anyone, right? Because whatever is for you already have your name on it. There are some things that you need to do to be able to for the what's been planted on the inside of you to be manifested. But go forth and prosper. It's a now time. It's a now season. And so I am so grateful for this very opportunity, guys. It's been so wonderful to come and sit before you today to share with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday and to see the manifestation of WOW going to its next level is just more than I can ever be able to truly put into words. WOW is about encouraging others. It is about inspiring others. It is about motivating others. And again, I have to put this out there because I want to advocate for good mental health for all people, for women, for men, for boys, and for girls. If you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling depressed, where you're feeling helpless, where you're feeling hopeless, where you may even feel like you just don't have the strength to go on or that you don't even have the desire to go on, please reach out and get help. You can call me directly. I will give you my number. You can call me at 478-284-0717, right? You can reach out to me if you feel that you need some help because you don't have to go through this alone, right? And it is absolutely okay for you to admit that you are not okay. You know, I always say that God has given us everything here on this earth that we need, and that includes therapists. I am SherVonne Grose. I am the host of WOW, Wish Only Well, this live television broadcast, and I am a marriage and family therapist. It has been more than a pleasure to be before you today. I hope you will come back again next week as we continue on our journey to wow other people. And wow is all about wishing them well. We come to encourage, to inspire, to motivate, and to help people get on their road to greater. It is Wednesday. It is a wonderful Wednesday. And indeed, it is a great day to wow somebody. And by wow, I mean to wish only well. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care and be safe. Again, Happy New Year.